Yes, sir.
Can I get a roll call, Brian? My mic's not working.
Is yours on, James? Oh, well, but you might have something to say.
Foreman,
Yes.
McCreary,
Present.
Here. Also in attendance, we have Mayor Rick Ellis, VA Matt Nyheiser, Fiscal Officer Brian Bibler, Chief Rogers, and the other council members, Jamie Carroll, Phil McLean, and Deb Schaffner. And we have one visitor tonight, and he has nothing to contribute. So could I get an approval of the March 9th meeting minutes?
I move to approve the minutes. as written.
McCreary,
Yes.
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes. Okay, so I guess our goals are the same as always on the Finance Committee, is don't spend more than we get. So with that said, is there any old business? Okay, let's get right into the monthly financials.
okay. You know, the goals, you can add to them if you want.
Can't think of any hour off the hand unless anybody else on the committee has one.
I don't have any at this time.
Okay.
Okay, so last month we ended up with the overall balance of $2,531,483.92.
And that includes 700,000 from the cemetery, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That we can only use at the cemetery.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Except the mausoleum.
Yep.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. That's why I like saying it.
Never gets old.
Actually, 711,000.
Okay, that's cool.
And I got a bank statement for them, and she's still worth in excess of 100,000. So
Huh.
more might be on the way.
Good. That's wonderful.
Outstanding checks of $46,518. Two outstanding receipts, which is what we usually have, the credit cards that process the next day. And that's pretty much it for the reconciliation. Payment listing is the next few pages. Last month, $277,359.96 worth of checks written last month. I think this is one of those months. There's really nothing out of the ordinary. It's just
No,
it's
just
just the
regular
normal,
stuff.
regular stuff. Although there is one, 25,000 for the, what was that for again? Southeastern. It was the is it, what is it again?
The milling machine.
The milling machine.
Yes. Which we're going to start using here in about another 2 or 3 weeks.
That milling machine goes on the skid loader?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Skid steer. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's been purchased this year.
Okay. And that's so we can feather the alleys into the streets. That's right. Okay.
I was kind of hoping that didn't happen until later on, but it's okay.
Oh, you mean well,
As far as purchase,
we're not going to I'm not going to stick him on it. He's going to do one at a time.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm saying the actual purchase of the
Oh,
everything.
I got you. Yeah. Well, it's done now.
It's going to
It's
happen
done
in
now.
this year, so what difference would it make?
Yeah,
Whether
it's
might as well
done
get it in
and
time to
paid
use
for.
it instead
Yep.
of getting it when
weather.
it's too late to use it.
Yep.
I don't want to get it in October.
Regarding the metrics, interest last month was for Star Ohio was $2,163. We received $87,272 from an income tax collections. 25% is the cutoff, and the street is above that. Well, it's because we spent close to $100,000 on things. So, and on the revenue side, as you can see, county actually we received our property checks. Property tax check the day after April Fool's. So April 2nd is when we had it. There was that. Usually we get that in March. I inquired about it, but they were running late. But we did get that April 2nd, so that'll change to 50% or higher. same with the property tax allocation, which we get from the state, so. And then there's the last thing I have is here on the appropriations status for the general fund, street fund, water fund, sewer fund, and so forth. Again, 25% is where we should be. And for the most part, we are.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on any of these financials?
No? I do not.
Can we get a motion to approve them as presented?
I move to approve them as presented.
I'll second it.
Brian?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, the next meeting is scheduled
Hold on, we got
for,
one more thing. It's not on the agenda.
oh,
So at the end of last year, we talked about laptops for council. They were starting to die off then. I think the decision was that we would reshuffle them around. We would reshuffle around the ones we had, fix them up. Well, they're starting to die off one by one.
Phil's died last week or 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
So Brian and I just wanted to bring that to your attention to see what you guys wanted to do about that. We weren't sure which of you needed laptops, how badly that was needed. We did get a quote from ABC last fall. I think it was,
It was close to $11,000, but that was for 7 though.
yeah. We did shop at Best Buy. The cost savings at Best Buy was not a bunch because the laptop itself was not that much less expensive. It was the setup and all the stuff that goes on the computer from ABC that's where the real cost is.
Because that's where we purchase all our stuff from, Microsoft and all that stuff.
Did we talk about going to Chromebooks using,
I think it was discussed momentarily, but then the decision was we would reshuffle these around. We could look into that.
their huge savings with those? No, I just wanted to say they're a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I have mine on my laptop, it doesn't cost you anything. I don't know how many people have personal laptops, but I know that in the past you've made comments about my email, but my email does not go into my personal email. My email is the same as your email on my laptop, so I don't know.
my concern is a FOIA request for a business owner.
Sure.
That's my biggest
I'm sorry.
concern is the FOIA request. If they start requesting communications and it starts bleeding over into my business or in Jamie's business, I just like to keep a very distinct line between my
Yeah.
electronic devices for council and my electronic devices.
Oh
for
yeah, I
That's the
agree
way
with
I
that.
think
That's why
too.
we're bringing this up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
some of you may not care, but for people who have a business, I think it could become a problem.
Sure.
And when you say electronic, I want to emphasize that it is the system that I log into is the same as you log into, so it's totally separate. Now, if you're worried about the same device, that's a whole different
That's,
situation.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the same device.
I would tell you to look into the Chrome, in my opinion, I would look into the Chromebooks and,
They're only like $300 or $400.
yeah.
Do we even need ABC to set anything up?
They're
They
really
have all
easy.
of our stuff that protects our information,
Oh, so they're basically for the virus protection.
Yeah.
virus protection,
And that's
cybersecurity,
really
and
the
all.
expense
security.
difference.
Which is what, we have to have the
You gotta
same
have it.
type of security
Now, I don't
through
know
our-
with
through
Chromebook if
schools.
Yeah,
that's
that's
different.
another thing that's really
So-
not on your personal one either.
Right, so I just want a separate device, and that way then everything assuredly, so if something happens, nothing's
Even if
compromised
we bought a
on
couple
my
at a
device.
time too, you know what I mean? But I don't.
This is
I'm-
more than we need.
I like to pay.
Yeah, it is, I think a
We just want
Chromebook
something
would-
super basic, stripped down.
Super basic.
I
I
like
mean,
paper.
it really is just
Gar probably likes the
reviewing
computer.
the documents for the meetings, before the meetings, and
I
communication
don't
with
need
other
one.
council members and
Yeah.
administration.
I knew you didn't.
I
go.
just don't
know.
want that.
A new guy coming.
I mean, you guys include
Yeah.
my Gmail on
Yeah.
sending out, but I never.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
So
never.
will the new
I don't
mayor.
think so.
Because receiving is one thing, but now once we've started a thread or a communication, now all of a sudden that.
Yeah.
I
I
just-
think now knowing what you guys want, we can reach out to ABC and some others and we get some pricing on that.
Yeah, and I'd have it maybe like for the next council meeting, and then see who all wants one, and then, that's
Bear, strip down, whatever we need just for council.
Yeah,
Communication.
Amongst the room.
yeah.
Okay.
So is there a way to add my, because I don't mind using my personal device if I can access my at baltimoreohio.org email address from my personal,
Yeah.
like add that to the server, basically.
Well, you must be able to, because I can get my emails through my phone. My
that's what
Baltimore
I
ones
have.
do.
Phil.
I don't mind doing that. I don't have a business, I don't have a business though. I do, but
It's like a
my
separate
wife.
Microsoft
No,
360,
that's
and
not
then
true.
and then everything is
they
there
change
exactly like they have it.
If they need your phone for something, I can get one for your phone regardless of whether it's village or property or not.
Yeah, well,
And
mine
that-
ain't village property.
It's the information. So if they feel like the phone was used in a crime, then it can be subject to seizure. But other than that, it's the information. So what they would do is they would go to Gmail and get all his stuff. They would get it all.
That's why it's probably better off keep it
regardless,
separate.
because they won't distinguish
Right.
at the level
Right.
of sending a
Yeah.
warrant to
Right.
or a subpoena to
Right, but if it's
Gmail.
the Baltimore.org, they have the
Right.
right to that, or anybody has the right to that.
don't take your device, they'll take
It
the
doesn't
information
matter
from
about
the
the
server.
device.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because I do
It's
get
the
my
information.
emails off my phone.
So, but like I said, if a crime's committed, or a crime that had to do with the village, they would get the phone anyway.
Right.
So whether or not you even get it on there, your phone's going. I mean,
Yeah.
we do it all
And,
the time.
and like I say, mine was more with regard to a FOIA request, which is not a crime.
Right.
It's just some person.
But again,
asking for
it has
information.
nothing to do with your phone or the device. Zero to do with the phone or device. Those requests, they can request the information, but they can't request your phone or anything. So then because we get these a lot. We just have to provide like the emails, and we just print out the emails and send them to them. So yeah, the device really doesn't have anything to do with it.
I would price them out just,
Yeah,
and we don't even have to wait till the next finance. Just price them out, and then for the next meeting.
Can I get instructions on how to get what you have? From anybody?
Well, there's a guy that does it.
I'll get you the name of the company that we use, and then you can contact him, and he'll help
Yeah,
us.
and they'll just meet you in here and do it if you want to do it that way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that save some money.
Yeah.
I just know they're one by one dropping off and they're unfixable.
Yeah, I mean, this is my second one
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was somebody else's.
You guys need new.
There's
Well,
part,
I feel lucky then.
You've gotten to keep one the whole time?
Yeah.
Do we have?
I must have done something
no,
right.
you don't have to.
No, we don't. No.
If that's the case, you don't have to, but what we'll do is
Yeah,
then,
'cause
like
I'm
we
not
did
taking one,
old
so.
school, like we used to, just print off the doc, put it in your mailbox.
Yeah.
And you come in and get it.
Yeah, I think this is better for
Or I
somebody
can drop
like
it
me.
off at the house. It doesn't matter.
I don't live anywhere near here though.
Nobody drops them off at my house.
Okay, so now can we
'cause you
move
live
on
too
to the
far
next
away.
meeting?
Yes, sir.
The next meeting will be held on Monday, May 11th at 6 PM. Can I get an motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
That sounded like a motion in a second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the service committee.
Hey, give me, hold on, Carl. Give me a chance to.
Why does this say May 13th?
That's what I just asked.
I don't know.
I'm like, man, am I in the twilight zone? or what?
I was.
Hi, Scott. I didn't recognize you, just so you know. It's like the second time this week. I'm like,
He's dressed up too much.
who is that guy? Hey, he don't have his
I
hat
don't know
on.
why it says May 13th.
He don't have his
It
hat
should be
on.
April 13th.
And he's got glasses on.
All right, we're gonna call to order. Everybody's here. Well, roll call for the committee.
Phillips.
Here.
Foreman.
Yes.
McLean.
Here.
Everybody else is here except the,
Let's go. The solicitor.
solicitor, Mr. Faco.
Yes, sir.
Can we got 3 visitors in the back. Does anybody want to address the service committee?
Question is, have they signed in?
Can we get approval of the minutes for April 9th, 2026 meeting?
Foreman makes a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Foreman.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
2026 goals, 5-year plan for streets, 5-year plan for WTP, 5-year plan for WWTP, 5-year plan for storm and I&I, replacement of water lines 50 years or older. Village alleys, center rules, review of round 1 of Village Alley Review west of Basel Street, review of round 2 of Village Alley Review east of Basel Street. Reports, village departments.
Yeah, just a couple things I wanted to highlight, bring to your attention. We're looking at the first week in May to get the pool up for the summer, start the prep work by the streets department. Water treatment plant, Mr. Faco's working on easement docs for the easements needed for the new wells, new well field. So he's working on that. Our water meters that we ordered at the end or beginning of the year, we've installed all but 8 of those. We've decided to keep 8
Yes.
for several of the new builds that we have coming online this summer, as well as we've had a number of water meters break that we've been replacing. So with lead times and stuff, we wanted to keep a few of those.
Are those the ones with last year's money? Or
Yeah, last year's.
So we have money budgeted to buy more this year?
No,
We do not?
No.
The 50 that we bought are the 50 that,
We were going to hold off, but we bought it beforehand.
yeah. So those have all been installed, all but 8. We're working on our 3rd round of notices to residents concerning the water service inventory. We still have a few hundred residents that have not replied to any of our attempts. So we had an internal meeting, I believe it was last week. There are some things we can do to look at date of homes to determine and rule out lead, which is the real issue, which is the real interest of the inventory is to rule that out or to identify those lead service lines. So we're working on getting that list together and get our master list updated, and then we'll identify those homes that have yet to let us in. The water department is going to flex their time a little bit. They may do something like work 410s in order that we might be able to offer some evening time slots. And we think that we're missing some folks because they just don't have a way of letting us in during the 6 to 2 or the 7 to 3 hour. We won't be using any overtime on that, but the
Right.
guys have been willing to
Thank you,
think
Scott,
through
for doing
working
that.
through it.
That would obviously make it a little easier for some
And,
folks.
and we'll do that as a window, right? We're not going to do that all summer,
Right,
but we would
right.
do it, say, for the next 3 weeks.
Right.
If you have an evening slot, please contact the office. So
Makes
we're
sense.
going to be sending those letters out probably in the next few weeks. Wastewater treatment plant, we did receive the fully executed orders for the DFFO. They did not send that to us like they had intended, but the date still stays. So March 10th is the execution date for the DFFO. They did say because we did not get them until, I think it was early last week. They did say, though, that if that creates a problem with the timeline, that we can make a written request, and they'll work with us on that. So
Well, we've done everything they've asked
and
us to
they've
do,
done,
so.
yeah. So we're working on that. We're going to start meeting with V3 twice a month, the 2nd and 4th Mondays of the month, to make sure that we're staying on top of our compliance and reporting, as well as all the other projects that we have going on. So we're going to start doing more purposeful meetings with V3 to make sure that we don't drop the ball on anything. We finished up the 14-day total of testing for the Jacob study. That timeline was adjusted some due to weather, holidays, a couple of those things. So we are now waiting for the results from Mazai. Once those get back, we expect those this week or beginning of next. Jacobs will reach out and set a meeting up with us to go over those initial samplings, and they'll begin forming some opinions, thoughts, direction on where to go next with the plan. The development agreement, we had a promise by special counsel that they would have a rough draft of the development agreement and rough draft of the NCA to us by Wednesday. And by us, they'll send a copy to Mr. Faco and myself with the plan to meet Thursday through a Teams meeting to discuss that rough draft. Assuming that Jeff and I don't have any major concerns with it, the thought by special counsel is we could distribute that to council at the next meeting and discuss that further in pursuit of getting that finalized.
It being a rough draft and bearing that in mind, is there any way you can go ahead and send that out to council? when you
We
get
could
it?
probably do that.
Yeah, because I'd like to talk about it the next. What that is it's the NCA. We want to have one for all the developments, so it's uniform, so we know how much money we can gauge off of it. It's a good. Other villages are doing it that way as well.
And then the last thing I wanted to share was the CDBG Critical Infrastructure Grant. We did submit our pre-application on March 30th, and that particular project was to replace the roughly 700 feet of pipe that services the school, high school, the firehouse, and we did submit that to Hicks Partners. Hicks Partners will take all those projects, kind of whittle them down to what they believe is the most impact for the money, and then they will make the recommendation to the commissioners. Then the commissioners are the ones who determine who gets awarded those projects.
I feel like there's a good chance we'll get that because it involves the school and the fire department.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Right on time.
Yeah.
Park and Recreation.
There's really nothing to say much about the park recreation. A couple questions that I have. We do have a quote on the shelter house for the grant.
So we got a quote from Gravers on the shelter house for the grant. Tim is getting a quote for the concrete, and
So how's that work, Brian? We get the quotes and then they release us the money, or
No, so we have to pay for it up front.
okay? How quick?
According to the lady that I talked to, or lady we talked to last year, but I'm reading that grant document. I'm going to have to reach out to that lady because there is a section in there you can get that money advanced.
well,
Well,
the
I
other
would
She
think that-
says that's not, but that's not. She said our grant's not that way. But I'm looking at the grant document. It says yes, so you can.
Well, I would definitely bring that up because there's no reason. I don't want to go spend that money and then take like 6 months or 8 months to get it back. They should be able to. If we do the work, we should be able to get the money back. And if it says, I'm glad you noticed that, Brian.
yeah, we do have that money budgeted.
I
So-
know.
So we're able to cover
I
it.
understand that, but
And the other
there's-
part of that is we do need to get permission to do this. So we have adjusted, we've adjusted our plan of projects. So instead of a mile walking path around the park with the Gordon Street sidewalk cutting through the middle of the park,
Right.
we thought just a half a mile loop would
Yeah.
be sufficient. As well as the thought was instead of 2 bathrooms, if we had one all handicap accessible restroom out there, that's really what that. We have porta johns out there. We got a shelter house with bathrooms. We got
Yes.
a pool with bathrooms.
Yes.
But that is missing out there, and that could be something that could be a real benefit to the community. That's different than what we applied for. So now that we got that Gravers quote, we can go now back to ODNR and ask them for an amendment. So once we get that, if they give it to us,
Right.
we can pull the trigger.
Well, and I want Brian. I'm glad you noticed that in there because I bring that up. That's what our
I'll
grant
show you what
says.
page it's on. I've got a flag.
Good.
We'll set up a meeting and we'll both be on it.
All right.
Baltimore Downtown Restoration Committee.
Yes, so I just wanted to bring up a couple things. One thing that we are concerned about is the roof is leaking relatively
Yeah.
significantly up on that 3rd floor. And we just had that floor redone.
Yeah. So Tim has reached out a couple of times to the guy that has serviced that,
Okay,
and we're waiting to hear back from him.
okay. So the roof, we're definitely concerned about that. Doors, I know that's been budgeted, so,
Did they order them yet?
Those have been ordered and they're being manufactured.
Okay,
The
good.
install will probably be one of the first 2 weeks of June.
Okay. Good to know. You know what I need, Brandy,
yes.
is I really want to beg for money for a sign for the Opera House. But I need like a design.
Steve's done some research, and that
Okay.
it's gonna take, depending upon the design and the type of sign,
Yeah.
it's pricey.
Like what's pricey? $100,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I figured it would be. There's
Well-
enough businesses coming into this town, and there's enough at that. I'm telling you, down at the Fairfield, Fairfield Foundation. There are so many avenues that we can go get some of that money, and
Well, I mean, that would be great. I just know we had a really nice turnout. Our event on Saturday, I think everybody was invited to.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. It was very well received. We had a lot of interest. Every time we have people in there, they're interested in there. They want to know more. So, you know, it would be nice to see something develop from all of the interest, and then with signage, of course, that would
Because
help it.
I had two people that were there that called me and said, you know, we couldn't find it because there really wasn't a sign, and so we need to figure that out. And if it's,
Okay.
but I just need a number to go after. That's what I need.
Mr. Cottrell has all that information
Okay.
because he did do some
I'll
research,
call
and
him.
he and I
Yep.
went over that. But I think you'll be interested to
Yes.
learn. We met with one specific company. They came here, and oh yeah, we were.
I know it's expensive. I know.
Yes.
What would they do, hang it from the corner or something?
I don't. There's
There are
different
different
things.
types of designs.
There-
One would be
like
like a
that.
blade sign.
Or maybe like above the door, how there to be two-sided sign or something like that that's lit up.
Like a theater sign.
Yeah,
type
like a
thing.
theater sign. Just we need something, and I'm not talking about any taxpayer money. I'm talking about no taxpayer money. I'm talking about
We looked at the type that are programmable also.
Okay,
So
that's good.
messages could be programmed. You know, whether it be out front, over.
just like
the
they have down at
entrance,
the
or-
where the Liberty Township is. That's a programmable sign.
and that's a different sign.
Right.
So
They
you've
have
got-
one
the
at the-
graphics are different.
Right at the church.
So
Walnut
yep,
Creek
and
Baptist
that's
Church has
that's
one.
a different sign than what we looked at.
Sure.
And Steve can fill you in more
Yeah.
so on that.
I will, but I'm just saying I just need a number to
Okay.
go after because
Oh, you can give me
it's
some
easier to get money for stuff like
Yeah.
that. It is for stuff that we really need, like fixing water lines. But if
Yeah.
if we can get the money to do it, we should get the money to do it.
Blade sign would be great on the corner. 'Cause
I
then you
think it would
see
be
from
too,
the
yeah.
You could see it from
Corner.
both
It'd be
state
cool.
routes.
So
Again, no taxpayer money, just so that's clear. Because we did do the lights, so we did get enough money to put lights at Diamond One at Johnson Park.
Okay.
We lit the field up. The only person that complained really about the lights at Johnson Park lives 2 blocks away.
I know who they are because
So-
they talked with me also.
Yeah.
And I saw the pictures.
They're bright.
Oh, they're bright.
So here's what I'll tell you about that. They're taking some of those lights because we've never done it before.
Yeah.
And some of those lights are going to come down and they're going to store them so when they do the next diamond. But they only play nighttime games 3 or 4 months out of the year, and it's only 2 or 3 nights a week. And the game's over by 9:30. So
I know.
when you live next to a park or close to a park, that's what happens as kids play ball.
Well, I wondered also, is there
Yes.
any way they can just adjust so that they're
Oh,
more
they are.
down onto
They
the
are.
field?
Yes,
I mean,
they
that
are.
was.
They are, and that's the guy was out there and adjusted them once. He needs to adjust them again and again. They're going to silence some
Yeah.
of those lights.
And
So-
if those were newly installed, that
yes, brand
absolutely.
new
Okay.
installed. So again, that was all donated money, no
No,
Rita
those are
or
awesome
anything.
lights. They
Yeah, they are.
definitely light things up.
So all right,
They look
go
great.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anything else, Brandy?
No, thank you.
Old business pool party rates.
Yeah, so there's a document that was sent along with your packet this week. When we brought this to council first time, if you remember, there was a pool party. There were 2 packages. There was a 0 to 50, then there was a 51 and up, and then there was a price difference based upon that. I believe one of the reasons council decided instead of doing the 50 and up, being a whole nother pricing, was the thought of like, what happens if there's 52 or 53 or 50?
Or grandma and grandpa show up, or yeah.
And so the thought was to do $2 a head. When I spoke with the pool manager about that change, he was a little concerned, and then Ms. Schaffner brought up the same concern at our last meeting. And so he and I did some research about what some of the other communities do, and what we're recommending is three pool party packages that a resident or a non-resident could choose from. And basically what it boils down to this is, if the concern by the pool manager is he needs time to plan to make sure that there's enough lifeguards
yes.
on site in order for the party to be safe.
Yes.
And the concern is if someone signs up for 0 to 50 and they know that they can just invite people for $2 a head, what happens if another 25 or 30 people
That's a good
come along?
point.
And now it's a Friday night, and the chance of getting somebody into
Right.
that is not going to happen. or you're going to just have to ask those people to leave.
Or not
So the
swim,
thought
yeah.
was is if
Or not swim, yeah.
or not swim. So the thought is that if we offered 3 distinct packages
Okay.
to residents, then the resident or the non-resident could just choose which one that they're most comfortable with based upon the number of people that they're coming. So you'll notice the group sizes are a little bit larger. The base prices are there, the number of lifeguards that are required for each of those packages. The only difference from the table would be any non-resident running the pool party would just be an additional $50 on top of the base price. And I did want to, something that was brought up at the last meeting and talking with the pool manager, that it's been our custom that we do have some operational flexibility.
Oh.
If someone
good.
if someone does a party 0 to 75 and 78 people come, we don't.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
We don't make them pay another $50
No.
for those 3 people. So
And if
there's we recognize that there's
Yeah.
those kind of things are going to happen, but we do try to keep it close to that number so that we have the number of lifeguards.
If they need a lifeguard, call me in.
There you go, lifeguard on call.
Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you
So
for bringing that
if-
up.
He's got the same problem. You can't have a good community with a guard.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if
I'll
someone
jump
signs up for a package of 0 to 75 and they bring 100, then you're going to have to tell them that they
Yeah.
can come in. We do click them in, so we know how many's coming. Just if it's around that threshold, I mean, we try to be reasonable.
God, that was good. Yeah, well, it took me 2 hours to get out. All right.
Is,
So maybe what we're requesting here is if we could amend if you guys are okay with this,
We have to
or
amend
if we
the
want to make
ordinance.
changes, that we could make an amendment to the legislation ordinance.
Yeah, make the amendment. I think it sounds good, don't you
Can-
guys?
Can I just ask?
Sure.
that, is this a form that they fill out then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
can we make that clear that that
It's-
they are strict?
Yep.
It's on the form.
It is, okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
And as soon as council passes the ordinance,
We'll have to
get,
tweak the form.
we'll get pool rates. We'll get pool rates out through our website and Facebook posts, all that stuff.
Okay, so are we needing a motion to
No.
send this to council
No.
or anything? We're good, just do it.
We've already had one reading,
But this information is new.
but they'll have to amend
Amend
it.
it.
We held off passing it by emergency for this, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're looking to pass it by emergency tonight so we get moving on it.
Yep.
with
Well,
the
that's up to
changes.
council, but yeah.
I understand, but.
That would be
but
great.
I
There's
think-
no reason to
I
not
think
do
with
it.
the weather we're having, we need
Yes.
to get this done.
Yes, we do.
We would appreciate that.
So, yeah,
Okay.
got it.
So we'll take care of that with council.
Yes, yeah, we can't do it here.
building department.
Okay, a couple things I wanted to update. A couple things we looked into after our last meeting was we did meet with Mr. Camp and talked about the possibility of him serving as chief building officer, doing permitting and inspection, as well as we did reach out to the Board of Building Standards again and our insurance company to discuss if we would do some sort of independent building department. So just take those two things in order. Mr. Foreman and I met with Mr. Camp the day after our last meeting. I think that was March 24th. Our main interest was to gauge his interest as serving as our chief building officer, right? So his statement was that he was open to serving in that capacity. We expressed to him that that was more than just an inspection, that what we need is more than just an inspector. We need somebody who's going to receive the permit applications, process the permit applications, communicate with residents, and then provide inspection services. Just to kind of give you an idea, last month, 75% of what Safe Built did for us was permit processing. 25% was the actual inspection. So it's the administrative load is, at least right now, is more than just the so what I'm saying is we need more than just somebody who's going to show up on the site and inspect, although that's very important function. We need somebody to process that, and he said that he would be interested in that. I sent an email to Mr. Camp asking for his resume, professional certifications, proof of insurance, those kind of things. I have not yet received those, but as soon as I do, I can pass those on to council. The other thing that I wanted to share was I reached out to Board of Building Standards. I want to remind council that one of the things that we asked them is what if there are parts of the state building minimums that we don't agree with or are not important to us? And just want to remind you that it was an all or nothing in the certification. So if we want a certified building department by the state, then that's something that we need to seek for consistency with those building minimums. On Mr. Faco's recommendation, I also reached out to our insurance company about what happens if we don't do that. What we keep our certification, but we're not adhering to those state minimums across the board. And the other question is what happens liability risk wise if we decertify, which is certainly an option that we have, but then if we try to do like an independent building department, what does that do with our liability? And in both cases, the insurance company came back and said that our liability is an increase, and that is something that they would take into consideration when they did premium renewal. So here's what the underwriter said. Decertifying the building department or operating outside state certified minimums can increase the village's liability exposure and increase their responsibility if a loss is tied to reduced inspections or permit requirements. This can also raise public safety concerns by raising the chance of unsafe work being completed without oversight. Also, decisions to minimize recognized safety standards can and often become the focus if an event occurs, therefore increasing scrutiny after a potential incident. With increased exposure and liability concerns, PEP would have to rate the village according in its upcoming renewals, etc., which could lead to increased premiums or higher deductibles. So I did want council to be aware of that in the decision-making process.
If I may ask, when is the time for us to discuss this and to present any questions? Is it now or in council?
Regarding
About the Mr. Camp versus Safe Bill.
I think now's the best time.
That'd be appropriate.
Okay.
I think there's additional options too.
Yeah. I would like to talk about this because it was pretty clear when we had very long conversations about our options. And as a council, we determined that for the village, we felt like it would be cost effective and definitely more efficient at that time. So I'm like, what's the change? Why did Mr. Camp, okay, so I guess one of the things that I was wondering, because we talked about the significance of efficiency, processing documents. So that was one thing we definitely talked about, because I went back and reviewed my notes. I take notes every meeting. I'm interested.
I guess from my position on it, if you haven't gone through the process and you've done this, then
I
you don't-
have.
I know, I understand that. That's what I'm saying is if you haven't had to deal with some of these building departments, then you don't understand that it's significantly increases the complexity for a small, high-quality builder to do a job, but it doesn't impact these big outfits like D.R. Horton at all, because they have a whole staff that takes care of that. And so this builder that is a small builder that builds fantastic houses just avoids the towns that put all these requirements on them. And they're not building a lesser house, they're usually building a better house. And so, being a person who's had to go through all these processes in different municipalities and with different building departments, I think I said something about we don't want to be Lancaster, and Matt agreed wholeheartedly. Well, we are. It's just as hard to build here as it is in Lancaster.
Did you vote against Safe Bill?
I did.
Initially? Okay.
The only thing, Bob Jude is probably the biggest builder in Baltimore now.
In a small way. D.R. Horton's the biggest.
Obviously. What I'm saying,
Bob Jude would be the
right.
biggest.
And to be honest with you, I'd like to talk to Bob Jude before I had an opinion on this, because he's built the doubles over on Rome side. He's built a bunch of houses.
He's built most of those without a building department.
Well, and
So
for me,
this one he's building now is the first one he's had to build with the building
Right.
department. So his perspective would be interesting. Jonathan Armstrong also.
Right.
has a-
The only thing about Jonathan Armstrong, he came at me and said, "Well, I had to pay $10,000." It's not true.
Well-
7,800 of that was tap fees.
Okay, but you don't know what things he had to do differently on the house because of this, and there aren't things that are good. They're not things that are there are things he wouldn't have done if he had just built the house he wanted to build, but now he has to do these things like hire an architect, like do an energy audit, like, put insulation in places where it isn't needed. Just things that he has to do now that he wouldn't have had to do before, and still build a really good house.
I hear what you're saying. So you're trying to avoid micromanagement. I also want to make
I
sure,
agree.
is this best for the residents as well?
For the resident that wants to just put a room addition on their house, yes,
Okay?
because they don't have the wherewithal to get through all this process.
Right. That I agree with. Yes.
And so I was really hoping Rick Prickett's would be here today because he has an issue with, he has an upcoming issue with two of the things on the agenda tonight. And one would be he needs to put a room addition on his house. I can't tell you how many people, when there's an active building department, just don't do it. They just give up on it, building a room addition or doing an improvement to their house because it's just too complicated.
But see, I agree with you 100%, but I also see the other side where we let a guy build a house up on the corner, up on Market Street, across the street from 501. It doesn't belong there.
And would
And
this
we
building
had a bit-
department-
I don't
that
know.
was a zoning thing. That was not a building department thing.
Well, I don't think zoning ever approved it. I think the administrator did.
Right. That was a zoning issue. So Safe Built wouldn't stop that.
Yeah. I wasn't throwing you.
That's
I
right.
wasn't
Yeah,
throwing you
not
under
this
the
one.
bus.
Yeah. If the village administrator says, yeah, you can build that house on that lot with,
That coverage.
that coverage and all
Okay.
that.
And I'm just trying to
I think
walk
that's
myself
what we
through
want
it.
to
Yeah.
do, though, is we have to look at all of this because we just went into contract with them. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
I'm understanding what the change has been, why the change. And Mr. McLean, you said that there are other options
Well-
you were thinking?
Yes, thank you. So I see four options, and one of them has not been discussed, and I think I might need to ask you on that one. But the first one's continuous safe built, which is the status quo, right? The second one is to hire Mr. Camp. The third, which is what hasn't been brought up, is can we negotiate with the county through an intergovernmental agreement
The
or
county,
another municipality around us?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So the county only provides commercial building permitting processes. They do not do residential.
Right.
Okay.
We did reach out to Lancaster, we reached out to Pickerington, we reached out to a couple of other municipalities. We can piggyback off of them if they're willing to contract with us to do these as
They
well.
probably have a company doing it too.
Well, no, those municipalities are doing it themselves and
Oh.
they just can't take us on. It's just too
County will
much.
do your plumbing.
The county will do the plumbing, but I'm talking about as
So the
far
health
as,
department's done the plumbing for years.
Right.
but I'm talking
yeah.
about as far as the certified building department, and we're talking about state minimums.
Right.
And that is the fourth option, is
So
to
the fourth option
decertify.
is to decertify. So I have,
That is true.
I guess more of a statement than a question, but if we decertified, the RCO still applies to builders. Like whether we have a building department or not, the standard's there.
So that's a great point. So every builder is required to build to these standards. The issue is whether or not a community is going to make sure that that happens. That's how I would describe my understanding with a certified building department. So every builder is required. So DR Horton's going to be required to build to these minimums. The question is, will the people on site do that? And then that's where your building department comes in to make sure that they do just stay where they're really fulfilling the building minimums that they're supposed to be
But
building
having
to.
been through this process many, many, many times,
Sure.
they're not good at it.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. This is my thought.
Any inspections I've had done on any of the construction projects that I've done, Pearson that came out to oversee to make sure I did it right, didn't have a clue. That's a fact.
You mean from here?
No, we've never had one from here. I've never had to have a house. I've never had to have an inspection on any house that I've built in this town, ever.
Well, then
It didn't make me build a lesser house because I still have to sell it, and that person's still going to hire a home inspector, and so you can't really cut corners and be able to sell a house. And I've built quite a few houses in town. I mean, I've built, well, Rick Prickett's house I've built, and the one next door. So I've built several, and you know, now like I built in Groveport and built a commercial building in Groveport, and I was a block from the building inspector. They not only came out and inspected everything, they made me hire an engineering firm to come out and also inspect my work because they didn't want to assume the liability. So you can require that they hire an independent inspector.
Yeah, but then, I mean, then why would, I mean,
Yeah, but
I'd be
that
like,
adds
I'm
a
not
cost.
going there.
That adds a cost.
Yeah.
One
So
thing I didn't like about Safe Bill was the most was one, you gotta get a permit to do a hot water tank or put a deck on, resurface your deck, whatever.
State
They won't
minimums.
deviate from that.
Well, but that's,
And
we
that's
change
if
a hot
we-
water heater. You know, you call me tomorrow morning and you don't have any hot water. We have it changed that day. Now, if I have to start pulling permits, the permit process is going to take much longer than the changing of the water heater.
Matt did say that the permits can be 3 days lenient or whatever, so if it happened on a Saturday or Sunday,
yeah, but here's,
done, and then you come in and do that, but that's.
how many people call when their hot water tank goes out?
Nobody.
We're not gonna be the hot water
No,
tank
we-
police.
Right.
We mentioned that. We already discussed that.
Yeah.
But-
We've had no
Right,
hot
but you
water
see the
permits.
stink that caused.
Yeah, because I've never.
Oh, it
thought
caused
about
the
pulling one.
stink. It caused the
It
stink.
caused the stink. So
Oh, yeah. But we're not gonna, my thought would be,
or they don't come out and do the inspection, they're gonna do it over their phone.
Well, and if council does not want that to happen, we can tell them that's not an option. The downside of that
I would
is,
think it shouldn't even be a thought of an option.
I'm
Even like
But
most
you can't-
decks,
you can't.
most decks, if it isn't violating your setback requirements, most decks don't need inspected.
So how much are we paying Safe Bill? I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but
yeah, we are.
It was a wash.
yeah,
It's a wash.
It's a wash.
What
We take
what do you
in-
mean a wash?
we-
That-
so
What we take in.
We
from
pass
this-
through the cost to the
pass-
homeowner.
It doesn't cost us anything.
We don't make any
can't
money,
make
we don't,
money off of it.
we don't lose
Okay.
it.
No,
We're not
it's
allowed
not
to
a
make
money
I don't
money.
see that as a neutral thing. I see that as we're charging the residents twice.
No.
Like they're paying taxes, and then we're charging them for
But
these fees
the
that we're
fees
just
get-
handing over to a for-profit company.
But
that,
it's a
you know,
safety issue more than it is
We
a,
would still get the fees anyway.
Yeah.
We just.
I mean,
wouldn't
not
get
if we
the fees.
decertified.
Well,
We're still
yeah,
gonna have a
so I don't think
zoning, we're
anybody's
still
worried
gonna have a
about that.
zoning fee and things like that.
We
Because we have to
wouldn't,
review what you're doing to make sure you're not violating the zoning code.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our own administrative costs of, having it, the contract, people working the intake. I mean, it all goes into it. You're shaking your head no.
No, because they do it online,
Right.
We don't have any
and
part of
they
it.
pay the payment, and then you can explain more about.
Yeah,
that.
so the process is pretty streamlined as far as getting the process of getting an of sending in an application, of paying. All of that's done through a portal on our website. So I mean, if an older person who didn't have a computer couldn't do it, we would certainly make allowances to make sure that we got a paper copy. They could come in and set an appointment. But the vast majority of the applications, they come electronically. Someone goes in, they sign up they make an account, they click on what they're planning on doing. It generates the permits that they need. The application for that is online. They can do that online. They can pay for the fee online. They can see project status updates online. They can schedule inspections online. There's guaranteed turnaround times. The Board of Building Standards has a turnaround time that they require all permitting applications, and that Safe's Build is much more narrow. For example, if our inspectors call at 2:00 tomorrow, he can guarantee an inspection the day after. So
Okay.
there are a lot of streamlined benefits administratively for the village to be able to provide what I would say, and I've not been on the building side, so that would be good to have that conversation
with Bob.
But from the village side, it is a very streamlined process where it does not get bogged down in paperwork. And
So
that has been an
what we're
incredible
paying
benefit.
for is basically
Providing what I would say is a good service for something that we're requiring residents to do.
what's the state code would
the
require,
state is
whether we have a building department or not. So to me, I think we're just paying money where we don't need to. But
Well, I sort of agree with that. I
Just
just,
goes back to the enforcement mechanism. Do you want to make sure that people are doing what they should be doing? And I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And when you were talking about liability, in a sense, we're taking on more liability by telling people we're doing this. So, so now if somebody buys a house and, the whole attic fills up with mold because the ventilation in the attic wasn't right, is that our fault? Kind of in a way is, because we gave them the understanding that we hired this safe built to make sure that didn't happen. So to me, we're taking on more liability, not less
Well,
liability.
the only thing I can say to that is that's not how PEP looked at
They
it
didn't
when
look
we
at that way.
discussed
Our
it.
insurance rates are going up.
That's not how the insurance company.
Okay.
would it cost
So-
more in our insurance rate than it does the contract to safe build?
That I
So we've only had safe built for 1 year. Did our insurance rates go down when we hired safe built?
Well, I don't know. Our renewal
Then
hasn't,
how can you say that they're going to go up?
because they,
Well,
if
that's-
we get
that
rid
was
of
that,
safe
that
built?
was
That's
their
just-
response.
Okay, so the
I
issue is
understand.
not that the insurance will go up if we get rid of our building department. The potential of rates go up if we keep the building department but don't run it the way we said we were gonna run it.
Okay.
Or if we declassify and then say we're gonna create our own independent department, then they're PEP saying
Right.
it's
I-
likely.
I can understand both of those.
But
yes.
if we have a certified building department and we're operating it in good faith, then PEP is saying that there's still always a risk, but they recognize that it's not the same level of risk as if we operate outside of, if we operate where we're only picking and choosing as a certified building department what we enforce and what we don't, or if we decertify and go with an independent department.
I think for our residents, I mean, I understand the safety, but I also understand the cost. And I think if we decertified and did nothing, we would save that money that we're paying to Safe Built. I think we would save a lot of headache. I know there's some concerns about enforcement, but there's already market conditions that lead to this enforcement. So you have lenders, title companies,
You brought it up.
home inspectors.
Yeah, there has to be a home
You're not
inspection
going to get the
anyway.
mortgage
well,
without the
and,
home inspection.
and a bank comes out and checks your work at every stage.
Well, what about a commercial building? If you build a commercial.
County already does that.
Okay, they do that.
County already does that.
And then a housing inspector comes out and does a private residence.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah.
When you
have a
buy a
question.
house, though, let's face it, it's drywalled. You can't see anything that the inspector's looking at. So
Yeah.
those are kind of two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I say, when you buy a house, they don't know if you've got 2x8s or 2x10s on your floor. They have no idea. You know what I mean? For like headers and stuff, they don't know.
I would be in favor of continuing discussion on
Can I ask a question?
not having a building department. If that means anything.
Rick, you mentioned that Horton would have their own staff to do that. But if we had somebody, would our person be doing it as well, or is it just, are we gonna leave it up to D.R. Horton?
well,
Our person would more or less be doing it as well to make sure they did their job right.
Mike, here's my concern. I'll just say this, that there's a website on Facebook about D.R. Horton homes, and everybody who's had problems with D.R. Horton homes. I'm concerned that if we had nobody, or we don't conform, we've got all these houses coming out here, we've got all these houses coming out here, and what we don't wanna be known as is a place not to go to, because all the houses are crap.
Were those houses that everybody's complaining about built in municipalities that had certified building departments? Probably.
Say that again?
Those houses that people are criticizing as low quality that D.R. Horton built, were they built in municipalities where there's a certified building department? I would say that more than likely they are. And so did it help? Nope, not a bit.
I will tell you too. I feel like we're going to, whether it be Mr. Camp or we're going to be checking on these builders, and it's I see bad reviews. I saw somebody else told me the same thing on D.R. Horton, and I looked at them. In my business, I can look up any car that's made in America. I can find pages of bad reviews. It doesn't matter if it's a Cadillac or Mercedes. So I don't concentrate on that with them. I feel like the president of the company assured us that they'll be good. I believe they'll be good. And I feel like we also have some of our own resources. I mean, at one point, Tim knows a lot about that stuff. If we had somebody like Mr. Camp, I mean, we will be checking some of that stuff out, no matter who it is.
Well, we can't do anything until you get the documents from Mr. Camp, right? I mean, to consider all of our options.
Yeah, I'm definitely get that to you when I get them.
So
I'm
we'll,
gonna say one other thing.
Okay, so it stays on the agenda.
We, if you remember back in the old days when this whole water problem started, it was because nobody wanted to spend any money to take care of what we needed to take care of. And that is why we are in the position that we're in right now.
agreed.
And I just think that, well, I think you got my point, but
Yeah, they're completely unrelated. Safe Built will do nothing to solve some problems like that. Totally unrelated.
what? Totally unrelated.
Safe Built will do absolutely nothing that would change anything to do with stormwater or.
No, I'm not talking about, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they did not want to, they just wanted to put Band-Aids on things. They didn't want to do things the right way, and we ended up with a mess. And my point is, I just feel like we should do things the right way and make sure that everything is good, and so in the future, we don't have a town where it has a shitload of houses and nobody wants to live in it.
I would like to be proactive rather than reactive. So,
Here's what I feel like we need to move on and get this done. I feel like this is definitely a subject that everybody should do some research on, and then for the next council meeting, not for the service agenda meeting, the next council meeting, we bring this up and everybody has their opinion. Because like I want to talk to Bob Jude to see what he thinks.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's the
Right now, if we
ability.
do nothing, it stays the way it is right now. We still
Right.
have Safe Built.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Is everybody in agreement on that? Let's everybody do their own research so you know, so we all know. Sorry, Gar.
No, nope. New business, maximum lot coverage.
So do these fast.
Mr. Baker, did you want to address that?
Yeah, I can briefly. I prepared a draft ordinance on this issue, but it needs to go to planning because this originated in planning and zoning. They reviewed that, they recommended, the imposition of the maximum lot coverages. So council can initiate the action to, amend these code sections, but they need to be reviewed by planning, and so I issued a memo on that. I don't know, Matt, if you circulated that or not.
Yes.
Okay, so is that gonna be on planning's agenda then?
Yes.
Next time, yeah.
Yep, in May.
And then, water modeling map.
Yeah, so we distributed this last meeting or maybe the meeting before. This is just the short-term targeted improvements for the water line. We all know that we've got like 6 miles of 2 and 4 inch water line. These would be the ones that our water modeling project has identified as being most important right now. I asked Scott if he would come if there was any specific questions. These are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let that be distracting. That's not level of importance. We're going to tackle number 1 and then number 2. They ought to be bullet pointed, not numbered. These all need to be tackled. And so we're meeting with V3 next week to begin talking about what that looks like. One area that is Rome side, where you'll see the purple lines up there, the 4 inch. Columbia Gas is going to be coming in and replacing the gas lines up there, which means they'll not only be replacing gas lines, but paving half of the street. The plan is to talk to V3 next week with our water service loan, is that we would start with that, since they're already going to be up there tearing up the roads. They would do half the road and the water line and the gas line. Then we could do the water line side, replace the water line, and repave the road.
Saves
And
us
then
money
Rome
on
side
paving.
would be done.
The whole
The whole
section
Rome
10.
side.
Gas line and water line.
That is an area that often has water main breaks. So that Columbia Gas project was identified after this water modeling project came out. So that would be one of the first ones that we would want to tackle. Some of these lines are not so much old, like number 1 where it says water line upgraded 8 inch, but there's some asbestos in there. Scott, I didn't know if you wanted to address council or if council had any questions for Scott regarding the modeling. So this would be like next 5 to 6, maybe 4 to 6 years?
Yes.
This would be our plan of attack with water loan funds.
So we had V3 come in, they went through the town and they ran a series of tests of hydrants throughout the town. Typically, when they're doing their fire flow test, you see a reduction, maybe 10% PSI when you're flowing through hydrants. Some of our hydrants dropped as low as 20 to 30 PSI, which indicated that the most likely scenario is that we've got some buildup, some legacy scale on some of these lines. I don't know if you guys seen some of the photos that we sent out
Last
to
time,
council
yeah.
that show some of the legacy scale. So that's one of the reasons that we need to replace some of those lines. We're not talking about, all the foreign lines in town. So those additionally do need to be replaced, but there's also lines that have a lot of legacy scale buildup. There's also some AC lines that we have on the south side, Main, and on, Romney's that need to be replaced. So we just wanted to know if you guys had any questions for me about that, if you guys understand that.
I think this diagram's a good way to look at it. I mean,
Thank you.
yeah.
That helps a lot.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
I have one question for you, Matt.
Sure.
For Matt. I think the water modeling contract that you gave us, it's fine. I mean, it's a fair price. The work is good. I just have some concerns about our residents' privacy data.
Okay.
I mean, I think when we were talking about, what the previous council was talking about these meters, like they said they could get this subscriber level consumption data, like to the point where they can tell when they're in the bathroom, when they're taking a shower, that it has a signature. I mean, usually identified for leaks, but I mean, like a running toilet, like a leaking toilet, but like, my concern is, what is V3 doing with this data? Because the contract, it actually protects them from us misusing their data, but it doesn't protect us from them misusing our data, our residents' data, and selling it to third parties and all kinds of stuff. And so I didn't know if this maybe should be another topic of discussion of possibly modifying the contract to put something in there, or discuss doing that.
The contract's already been signed.
Yes. Right, so that's why I was saying
So
a modification.
the water modeling project's already is completed. There's nothing else to do. These are just the results of that contract.
I can assure you that V3's not selling anything or
Our meters don't collect that data.
no, that's,
There would have to be, we'd have to get apparatuses, and we don't have any.
I thought that was
apparatus.
with the new meters.
No.
No,
They don't collect that data.
they don't. They can tell when someone's water's running though, yes?
They can tell when water is running.
And how much, and I think you were the one that was briefing it to the previous council, because I remember watching it, and I think you said that you could tell when someone has a leaky toilet, and you can identify that signature.
There is a system that's available that the village should not purchase that would notify us immediately if a resident had a leak. This was to provide better service to our customers, that way they don't have a high water bill without knowing that they have a leak if they're outside town or something like that.
And we've had those.
Yeah, but we've had those, but our current system is not capable of that.
Okay.
It has that capability.
So it's an added service, like if you were in Florida and your pipes froze and broke and you're flooding your basement, they're gonna know about it.
And then my data gets sold, and then I get all these ads for.
That's a big leap from, I have a
these,
gushing leak to I have, a running toilet.
I don't think it's a big leap. I think without protection, who knows what's happening? V3 is probably selling the data because that's just the way the world is today.
no.
V3 doesn't have anything to do with
Is the
it.
engineering firm. They're not the water meter firm.
Okay. Okay. So we control our data.
Yeah.
Okay. That addresses my concern then. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Gar, let's go into an adjournment so we can get
Well,
right.
we got pieces of legislation that need to be moved up.
Yeah, we got ordinance 2026, 11, 12, and 14.
Yes.
Which is,
Ordinance 2611 is the annual ODOT road salt contract. of course, they give it out last week, and it's due by May. We got only 2 meetings left.
We can pass that by
Make
emergency.
a motion to send them all in one motion.
Yeah, you can.
Second?
Foreman makes a motion that we send the ordinances before service to council.
Second. McLean, second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the next meeting will be held second Monday, May 11th at 6:30, for a meeting following conclusion of Finance Committee. Do I have a recommendation for
Foreman makes a
adjournment?
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And deliver us not from temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get a roll call, please, Brian.
Yeah. Carroll. Foreman.
Yes.
McCreary.
Here.
McLean.
Here?
Phillips.
Here.
Schaffner.
Here.
Can I get an approval for the minutes of March 23 council meeting?
I make a,
I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
I get a vote on that?
Okay. Schaffner.
Yep.
Phillips.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Carroll.
I need to get a motion to approve the agenda this evening.
Do we need to change anything on it? No. Foreman makes a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Prairie present. Seconds.
Who seconded that?
Jane.
Jamie and Brandy both.
See.
Okay.
And
Carol.
So who
Mr. Carroll.
do I give it? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
can we get a vote on that?
Foreman.
Yes.
Carroll. McCreary.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
Any of the visitors like to speak this evening? Nope. Okay. Going to move right into administrative reports. I really don't have anything that we haven't already covered.
Smoke detector.
I don't really have anything that we haven't already discussed earlier, which everyone was here for. Village administrator,
I have nothing to add to my report.
Mr. Fiscal Officer.
Yes. I will need later on, be now or I guess during motions, but, we all know that Peg retired Friday. She wants to come back. We need to, I'll need a motion to authorize, her rehiring.
Was that
effective-
part-time or?
It's on a
Yeah, just
part-time basis
For lawn care.
for, when is she coming back?
2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks?
I don't know.
May 1st.
Oh, she's coming back then? Okay.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Oh, okay.
Can we get a vote on that?
Hold on. I wasn't prepared for that one.
You said that's what you need.
I know.
Yeah, you wanna
I was kind of thinking we'd be waiting till the motion
We
was
can do it anytime.
Okay. But is it May 1st, Matt?
Hold on.
Yeah, May 1st.
Is the solicitor vaping down there?
I don't know.
He's smoking.
Maybe. I should be. Put it that way.
Okay, regardless. I thought you were just taking this week off and just coming back next
Don't
week.
be stingy.
No,
Okay.
Does that cause her any problems with her, Oakers?
Yeah,
No.
yes, it does. In fact, she was told, basically, she forfeits 2 months. She won't get her first retirement check from the state, that is,
Right.
until July 1. But she was told that when I had a meeting with her about that.
Brian was very helpful in going over everything with
Yeah.
her, so I feel like she has the information she needs.
Did we ever roll call that?
Okay,
Yep.
Carroll
Yes.
and Phillips,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Foreman, Schaffner, Green.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Yes, sir. Village council reports, finance?
Sir?
I'm up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the solicitor's got something to say. Sorry.
5 new pieces of legislation. I believe all of them have been through committee already, except for the salt ordinance. And that does, you can wait till the next council meeting if you want to adopt that, but there's a deadline for submitting the documentation of May the 1st. So if by chance there's not a quorum at the next council meeting, then
We should
it
we should pass it. That's just the salt that we get from the state. They give us only so much time, so we want to just get it so we know we're going to get salt for next winter.
And then, the tabled ordinance can remain tabled until the next council.
Which is
That's all I have. That's the
Cherry Lane.
pre-annexation agreement.
okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Solicitor.
Salt to approve it now, or we need to wait?
No.
No, we'll
no,
get
wait.
when we get to motions.
I have a,
It's an ordinance.
We'll read it.
Okay.
I have a question about the administrator's report before we move on. So, Matt, your report says that a new water main is being installed from Washington Street to the Liberty Ridge site.
Yes.
Who authorized that main installation?
Just the normal channels of development.
They're paying for it. We're not paying for it.
That was going to be my next question. Okay, so they're paying for
We
it.
only have to authorize it if we're spending taxpayer
Yeah.
money.
And when did that water main installation begin? About
2 weeks ago.
And was that the main installation authorized by ordinance 2026-23, or does it have some other authorization?
I don't know any ordinance that's connected with that, just with the development. Oh, Jeff, maybe you have
No, I'm not
knowledge of that.
Part of the
Just,
site plan.
just part of the site plan that was approved.
So is the village providing any other utilities, services, or infrastructure in connection with the Liberty Ridge development at this time?
Sewer?
Sewer.
Well, they're part of the village, so,
Part of the
Right.
village.
just as we do with every other.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Village council committee reports. Finance.
Finance met tonight, everybody in the room was there, so, no rehashing that, and our next meeting will be May 11th?
Service.
Service met, if everybody was here, we talked extensively about building permits. Our next meeting's May 11th, 6:30.
Safety.
Yes, we did not meet tonight. I believe our next meeting is at May 23rd?
7th.
April 27th.
7th.
April 27th will be our next meeting. Sorry, I went up to May already.
And rules.
We did not meet tonight, and also our next meeting will be April 27th at 6 p.m.
Yes, ma'am. Police department. Chief.
Just working on the new building, getting it down. It's probably 70%, I suppose, maybe 65, 70. And spent a lot of time on that. Other than that, everything's rolling along.
Basil Joint Fire Department. Do you have anything, Jamie?
Don't meet till Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. Village committees, planning and zoning. We did not meet last week because there was nothing really on the agenda. Correct. Correct. Okay. Tree commission.
13 and 14 is 27.
I feel like they trimmed all the trees. We're done with that grant too, aren't we? No?
We have a few more pieces of the pruning that need to happen. There were some wet spots when they dropped a couple logs. We let that lay till it gets drier. We're getting some stump contracts to do. There's just a few stump grindings we want to take place, and then we'll start shopping for trees to plant contracts.
And that's really, Steve takes care of that. I mean,
Well, yeah, we get the quotes and stuff internally and work with the contractor. Steve provides all the legwork with what
Yes.
trees he wants and where he wants them and those kind of things. Yep, Steve does a great job.
yes, he
Just
does.
to clarify, the next meeting's on the 25th.
Today's the 13th.
Yeah, important to place.
Okay, 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 okay,
27.
okay.
Next council meeting
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
is the 22nd.
I think it's wrong month, that's what it was.
Records Commission.
I don't have anything. Jeff, I remember when we last met in October, you wanted to possibly meet this month or next month.
Yeah, I'll get with you on the time.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go into motion.
I got one.
Yeah.
I know we have them. I've been told we have them. Time clocks. I think all village departments should be installed and punched, excluding the police department.
I agree.
We do have time clocks. They are all punched.
You're
All
getting,
departments punch
All,
them?
yeah.
yeah, you're getting time clock cards from everybody, aren't you?
No. I don't pay from them. I pay from the time sheets. But if I want their time cards, I just call them up and say, bring me your time card.
I got you. Okay.
The water
all-
department and the
Yep.
sewer does it?
Yep, they do them. They have them.
And I have seen
And-
them.
and he's
that was
seen
one of the that was one of the first issues when I came on. There was some discrepancy
We discussed this
about
last
that.
year. He went out and saw them. I don't need them to pay. I pay, they put their time on a time sheet. I pay off the time sheet. If they give me their card, I attach their card to the time sheet. But
Why,
it's not required.
why would they don't give you the card?
Well, we have it for accountability's sake. If there's a
If there's a
concern
question,
or
a question, when we will
But
get
you
it.
don't pay from the
And
time
they-
card, you pay
No.
from the time sheet.
Time sheet.
And they legally certify their time
They
sheet.
legally certify their time sheets.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So the ordinances, the first one is the salt one. If we could pass that.
Yeah, it should bypass committee on that since.
Well, no, it went through
Oh,
service.
it did go
Yeah,
through?
and
Yeah.
I'll sponsor that,
Okay.
if you would like to read
If we
that.
could pass it,
I'll
yeah,
take
I'll
from
read it
there.
if we can pass it by ordinance of emergency. Ordinance 2611, an ordinance authorizing the village's participation in the ODOT road salt contract awarded in 2026 and the declaration of emergency. Mr.
This-
Foreman?
This is basic housekeeping, and we do this every year, so Foreman makes a motion to suspend 3 readings.
I second that.
Get a roll call on that if there's no
Foreman?
discussion.
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
And Foreman makes a motion to adopt.
Clean seconds.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Any
Schaffner
discussion there?
Okay. Discussion?
Just did a roll call?
Sounds good.
Okay, Foreman,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Okay, the next one, we do not have a sponsor. It is an ordinance. Enlighten me on this, Brian. It's about having animals in the,
It's one of the cleanup ordinances.
It's one of the cleanup ordinances.
okay.
Yeah, and there's no emergency language, there's no reason for an emergency on this, in my opinion.
Can I at least get a sponsor for it?
I'll sponsor this one.
Yes, ma'am. Ordinance 2026-12, an ordinance amending section 218, animals of the codified ordinance. Brandy is the sponsor. This is just the first reading. Any discussion on that? What is that, like?
It's one of the cleanup ordinances. It was pointed out when a local resident did kind of a self-appointed audit that, okay, this needs to be corrected, this needs to be.
Contradictions in the.
Okay.
Remember we discussed the rules?
Okay,
like-
that's
These are
okay.
the cleanup
Oh, yeah,
ordinances.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's one of the-
And they can all just go for 3 readings, so. it's
Yeah,
not like we
okay.
have to do anything.
All right, the next ordinance, sponsor is Mr. Carroll. Ordinance 2613, an ordinance adopting cybersecurity program and policy at the declaration of emergency.
I don't have anything on it. I was asked to sponsor that.
This is to develop the village's cybersecurity program in accordance with House Bill 96.
Do we need
Yes.
it now, or are we just?
Do we need it now? No, it can go 3 readings.
Yeah.
It just take effect immediately.
It just take
And it needs to be in effect by no later than
July
June
1.
30th.
Oh, yeah.
So we
June
got
30th.
plenty of time.
We got time.
Okay.
It's a state requirement, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
And it also requires everyone to take cybersecurity training yearly.
I need a sponsor for the next one, which is the, for the trees.
And another cleanup ordinance.
Yes.
I can take that one.
Miss Brandy, will you sponsor this for me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Brandon's 2026-14, an ordinance to amend chapter 1004 of the Trees of Baltimore of the codified ordinances to delete this chapter. And that can go 3 readings, I assume, too?
Correct.
Okay. All right, the next one, let's see here. Okay, so the next one is sponsored by Ms. Schaffner. The ordinance is 2026-15, an ordinance to amend section 452-16 of the Baltimore Codified Ordinances, parking prohibited on certain streets and the traffic control map to provide no parking on a portion of a company street at the declaration of an emergency.
Yeah, this is just to prohibit parking to allow the fire department access to certain parts of Company Street.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, we talked about that.
That was at
And-
the last safety meeting.
Yeah, and that we need that because if there are people parking on that street and you can't get down it. Like I had to back up. I couldn't even drive my car.
I'd say because we're gonna inconvenience some people, we might wanna let this go 3 readings.
Yeah,
so
I
they have a
gotcha.
chance to challenge it.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
no, keep in mind, there is a lag time from when it's posted to when you start, the police department starts writing citations too,
Right.
right?
Yeah, we always go to knock on the door and.
Warnings first,
tell
yeah.
them,
Yeah.
You know, it's new and, but the signs will be there, so it's not like the.
I think he ordered the signs already. Okay, second reading. This is a sponsor by Mr. Phillips. Ordinance 26-10, an ordinance establishing rates for the Baltimore swimming pool at the 2026 season at the declaration of an emergency, which is what we went over today. Any discussion over that?
Well, first thing we need to do is if they're in agreement with what was proposed tonight at service, then they need to amend the ordinance.
Okay. Is everybody in agreement on that, on the parties and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Yes.
Foreman makes a motion that we,
But this
Phil-
isn't
Phil's-
correct, right?
Phillips is the sponsor.
The highlighted portion is just showing what the new proposed word will.
No, that,
yeah.
the handout we had.
Is the old one.
No, that's the old one. That's the one that's currently with the ordinance.
Attached to the ordinance.
Yes. The amendment was passed out at service.
Right.
So Foreman, or Phillips is.
Do you wanna make a motion
This
to
one's
amend
wrong.
that?
No, I
Yeah.
just
It's
wanted to make
everything's
sure that-
right except for the pool party section.
Yeah, we can I'll make a motion that we amend it.
Amended to,
Yep.
I'll second it.
okay.
Jamie seconded it. Can we get a
Is
vote
there,
on it?
we need discussion, any discussion?
No, I mean, we discussed it.
Phillips,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes,
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yes.
and then suspend,
We're
Make a
suspend
motion to suspend the
3 readings.
3 readings.
Yes.
Pass as emergency.
Foreman seconds.
Okay, Phillips,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
And motion to adopt.
And we make a motion now to adopt it.
Foreman seconds.
No discussion?
Discussion's over.
Okay. Phillips,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
There are no third reading ordinances, and the ordinance that we have tabled, we'll just leave it tabled. As far as old business goes, the only thing I would tell you guys, do some research and let's talk about the building thing, because we can keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and beat it.
Well, and we really need to talk about impervious surface because there again, Rick Prickett wants to put a little room addition on his house and he can't. He needs another bedroom and he can't. And where his house is, this impervious surface thing is not.
Part of the road, it's showing part of the road is his property.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, that's all, it's all stuff that we need to
Yeah.
look into.
Yeah.
for
I
the-
texted him and asked him to be here next meeting.
Okay.
So, that was the only other thing I had to add. Any other new business?
I'm stupid, so explain this, time card, time sheet thing to me.
They clock?
Do they actually punch
Yes,
the time card into the machine?
yes,
Okay, so if they were leaving early,
they would,
punch into that, and that would reflect on their time sheet,
correct.
Okay.
No, not their time sheet, their time card.
their time card.
Right.
Which,
So they punch the time card.
They punch the
then-
time card when they come in, and they punch the time card when they punch out.
but you don't see the time cards.
No,
Then they fill out a piece of paper
He has.
stating what their hours were
Who,
for that
who
week.
sees the time cards?
We don't see them on a we don't see them attached to the time cards. But if there is a discrepancy and we have a question, we can say, please bring your time card down, and we can provide some level of accountability when
Well,
matching
that's
those up.
the whole thing right here with me.
Yeah,
okay,
I see a lot of driving around. I'm retired, I got nothing to do.
sure.
I see a lot of driving around. Sometimes I may follow. I think the time cards should come in with the time sheets for accountability, not just on the accountability of the time sheet, which was filled out. That's what I'm asking, because I punched a time card one time, and you had to punch the time card when you came in. You had to punch it when you left. And they used that. They didn't use me filling out a time sheet.
but that's what we pay from, because, and they certify, when they sign their time sheet, they're certifying that they worked those 8 hours.
I think what
Okay.
he's saying, you don't verify it ever.
Well, we don't verify it, no.
So,
Okay, yeah. So I think it ought to be verified through the time card.
May I ask a question? Is there a concern about a particular employee or?
I just see a lot of driving around.
Well, the driving around is probably on the clock though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the water department, that's what they do. They go check water lines and they,
Right.
I mean, do you have a problem with that? Or are you questioning them?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I would say that's something for you to take care of.
I would like to see the time cards come in with the time sheets.
Do you make this a practice with other employees, other village employees? Following them around?
I don't,
I mean, it's a fair question.
okay, yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
okay,
And I know how to follow somebody that they don't know they're being followed
okay.
Yes, you
I
do.
just wanted to ask that question.
because of what I used to do.
Yeah, I know what you used to do,
Okay.
so, okay.
So that's something that you need to address
Yeah,
with
I
all
sure
the
will.
employees.
I got a question.
Yeah.
The streetlights, have you followed up on those on the 30-something that ain't on?
Well, there's not 30, there's 14, right?
Are we down? 'Cause I thought it was like
It's
27.
north of 14, it's like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
down to
okay,
19,
well,
yeah.
20.
They fixed a few, well, no, there was up there. The problem is I don't know, short of those, of getting those, solar lights, I don't know what leg we have to stand on. I mean, I called and left the one lady a very scathing message.
Are we paying for those lights even though they're not working?
We pay an electric bill. If they're not working, I assume we're not
They don't meter it.
paying the electric.
Yeah, we just pay and they just tell us.
So it's just
We're
a
gonna go with
set
that.
rate
That's
of,
what we
Well,
pay.
then we
Yeah,
need
like
to,
my
that's,
security light's $30 a month.
and that's something we
Are we
definitely
paying
need to,
$30 a month for that light?
yeah.
It
I
isn't
don't
even
know
on,
the
yeah.
answer to
It's
that.
not
No,
even
no,
on.
the electric bill for streetlights is $2,800 a month.
No matter what?
Well,
So if 40 of them,
it's based on usage.
okay, so if it's,
I thought we didn't weren't metered.
They're not.
they're not metered.
There's one meter for streetlights.
right, but what we're saying is,
Huh?
if we pay
Where's it
20,
at?
I don't know, but
if we pay $2,800 and half
I
the
would say
streetlights
one
don't
light.
work,
That's not metered.
you know what I'm
meter,
saying?
they got, there's a meter number.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, what he's saying is if there's 28 lights and we pay the same amount every month and half of them
Well,
don't work,
it fluctuates.
the amount that we pay?
Yeah, like as the days get longer, the bills go down.
Okay.
Right.
But
There's really no way to tell.
no, they need to fix them.
Right.
That's what they need to
We
do.
shouldn't have to go put a solar light up so we have light,
Right.
when it's their responsibility.
Well, if the solar lights really worked,
Let's do away with all those.
we'd do away all of them, and then we wouldn't have no bit. We wouldn't have no bit.
Right.
Problem is the solar light that we have.
It's just put
Oh,
solar
I can
panels
do
up on
that.
the roof.
Then we don't have to fix the roof.
Yeah, well, wait.
Problem solved, win-win.
Oh, jeez.
I just pulled the bill. I paid.
All right.
today.
Any
This is
the
going
visitors
south
have
real
any?
Yeah. Sun don't shine at night when you need the lights.
I can pull the bill. I just paid. it.
Okay. Well, the next meeting will be held Monday, the fourth Monday in April, which is April 27th at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Forward second.
Favor? Aye.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fixed tomorrow. The only other sound that drives me nuts is dead.
Nope,
This can be real.
not offended.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do the cybersecurity now, because I don't have to.
Just say
I
that.
armed in his feet, and he looked at me like, okay, ease up a little.
Hear me, Brian? So I don't have to do the
Yeah.
cybersecurity training because I don't have a computer.
Matt, can you do a screenshot and then send this to yourself? I don't know how to, I deal with Apple computers. Just-
Good night, everyone.
See ya.
I'm texting our interface.
Why did you say just one?
Hey, Rick,
June, the end of the week,
you know,
bring it in, the
2025.
Yes.
hand it over.
Oh, I can do that.
What did you want me to do?
I was gonna do a screenshot, capture it,